What if everything you thought was true was a lie? What if the system meant to protect you turned against you? And what if you were sentenced to die for a crime that never even happened? This is not just a wrongful conviction. This is a conviction without a crime. Meet Clarence Westbrook, a quiet, soft-spoken man who spent 25 years on death row, waiting to die for something that never happened. Not because of evidence, not because of guilt, but because he was black, poor, and easy to blame. Hazelwood, Mississippi, 1987. A sleepy southern town with 3,200 people and a justice system that only worked for some. The kind of place where everyone knew your business and where rumors spread faster than the truth. June 12th, a Friday. Lisa Palmer, 19 years old, didn't show up for her waitress shift at the diner. Her car was found abandoned behind the supermarket, keys still in the ignition. Her purse, untouched. No blood, no struggle, no witnesses. The town panicked, and in their panic, they created a villain. Clarence Westbrook was 24. He worked at a gas station just 2 blocks from the diner. Changed oil, pumped gas, kept to himself, never caused trouble. But he was the only black man in the area who didn't belong. He had moved from Jackson just a year earlier to be near his sick mother. He had no connection to Lisa, but to a town hungry for answers. Clarence was a convenient answer. 2 days later, Clarence was arrested. No warrant, no lawyer. They said they had reason to believe he was involved. He told them he didn't know Lisa. They said he was lying. They searched his home. Nothing. His car. Nothing. His clothing, fingernails, work boots, all clean. Then someone found a torn piece of red fabric in a trash bin behind the gas station. Lisa's last photo showed her in a red blouse. It was all the town needed. The headlines wrote themselves. Murder suspect caught. Hazelwood seeks justice. Justice? Or just someone to punish? Clarence was charged with first-degree murder, even though Lisa's body was never found. At trial, the prosecution spun a story. They said Clarence stalked Lisa, kidnapped her, murdered her, dumped her body in the woods. They had no body, no DNA, no motive, just a red cloth and a jailhouse informant who claimed Clarence cried and confessed. That informant, years later, would admit the DA threatened him with 10 years in prison unless he lied. But the jury didn't know that. They deliberated for 86 minutes. Guilty. Sentenced to death. Clarence didn't shout. He didn't plead. He simply said, "How can I kill someone who's not even dead?" Death row in Porchman prison wasn't just a sentence. It was purgatory. Clarence lived in a 6x9 cell. No sunlight. No warmth, just concrete, steel bars, and silence. He read legal books until the pages tore. He wrote hundreds of letters to journalists, lawyers, even strangers. Most never got a reply. He watched men walk to the chair. He heard their last words. Smelled burnt flesh from 2 cells down. Every time the lights flickered, he wondered, is it my turn? He missed his mother's funeral, his brother's wedding. He watched his youth die in a cage, but he held on to one thing, hope. In 2011, a second-year law student named Monica Cruz was digging through old Mississippi case files for a project on prosecutorial misconduct. In a box labeled closed, she found a memo, dated June 14th, 1987, just 2 days after Lisa went missing. It read, "No confirmed blood, no signs of struggle, no evidence of homicide. Consider classifying as missing person." This memo had never been shared with Clarence's defense. That was Brady violation, suppression of evidence. Monica contacted the Innocence Project. What they found unraveled everything. The blood on the red fabric, not blood, rust from a pipe. The jailhouse snitch, recanted. The DA had coerced him. The cloth didn't match Lisa's blouse. Different fabric, different stitching. But that's not the end. Because in 2012, Lisa Palmer was found alive, living in Colorado under a different name. She had run away to escape her abusive stepfather. She had seen news reports, but was too afraid to come forward. Now, with terminal cancer, she confessed. Clarence Westbrook didn't hurt me. I didn't know him. He was just a name they chose. In 2013, Clarence's conviction was vacated. He walked out a free man. But he wasn't free. Not really. He stepped into a world he no longer recognized. Cell phones, self-checkout, GPS. Things had changed, but he hadn't. His mother? Gone. His brother? Died in a car crash. His 20s. His 30s. Gone. The state gave him $78,000. That's $3,120 per year they stole. No apology. No trial for the people who lied. Just a check and silence. Today, Clarence lives in a small apartment above a used bookstore. He works part-time at a library. He doesn't talk to reporters. He avoids crowds. But sometimes he tells his story to law students. When asked how he survived death row, he says, "Hope that the truth would catch up." And maybe one day it finally did. But Clarence's story isn't rare. There are over 170 people in the U.S. who've been exonerated from death row. Many of them were black men, accused by fear, not facts. In a country where being innocent isn't enough, where the system would rather bury truth than admit fault, Clarence was lucky. But justice shouldn't depend on luck. This is Clarence's story. But it's not just his. There are hundreds more, still locked up, still waiting, still hoping. Will you help tell their stories? Subscribe to Black Justice and keep the truth alive.